What's going on, everyone? Today we are taking a close look at the brand new WAN SCAIL 2 video-to-video generation model, and if you are interested in character animation or motion transfer, this is definitely something you will want to see. In plain terms, this model lets you take the exact movement from one video and seamlessly transfer it onto a completely different character or reference subject. We did have the WAN 2.1 SCAIL model last year, but the jump to SCAIL 2 brings some serious improvements. The older version essentially extracted only the motion signals from your driving video, which could sometimes result in a somewhat lossy feel where fine details or environments got a bit scrambled. SCAIL 2 changes the approach entirely by using the full driving video itself right in the generation sequence. Because it has access to the actual appearance, background context, and movement all at once, you get much cleaner motion transfer, far better temporal stability, and your character's identity is actually preserved instead of morphing during longer sequences. It really excels at keeping anatomical proportions correct and keeping those fine detailed regions of the frame intact. Now, we do need to talk about the hardware requirements because they are pretty hefty. These new models demand a lot of power, and even when we rely on quantized GGUF versions to save on memory, the VRAM needs are high. For instance, the FP8 scaled variant requires a minimum of 32 GB of VRAM just to process smoothly without throwing memory errors. I'm going to walk you through the entire process of setting up the workflow locally in ComfyUI today, including exactly where to find and download all the necessary models. However, to actually run the generations and avoid any crashes, I am going to be using a cloud GPU service called RunPod. Specifically, we'll be taking advantage of an RTX 5090 with 32 GB of VRAM, which makes running a heavy workflow like this incredibly smooth and reliable. Also, a quick heads up for my Patreon supporters, if you want to bypass the manual installation entirely, I have put together a one-click Windows installer over on the Patreon page. It comes pre-configured with the GGUF version of this exact workflow and handles all the massive model downloads automatically, so you can jump straight to creating. And if you prefer to run things locally on your own machine but are working with a 12 to 16 GB graphics card, I have another Patreon installer that I released at EW months back that includes the earlier SCAIL preview version released earlier this year. It's noticeably lighter than the full SCAIL 2 model, meaning you can still get great motion transfer results without needing to rent a massive cloud GPU. Don't forget to like and smash that subscribe button so you don't miss out on more great AI content. For the most part, I know a lot of you already have ComfyUI installed and are familiar with how it works. If you're starting fresh, you can just grab the portable Windows version directly from the ComfyUI GitHub repository. You will also need the ComfyUI Manager, as that is essential for fetching all the specific nodes we are using today. If you need a thorough step-by-step guide on getting the base software running, you can look back at some of my previous ComfyUI videos where I walk through that exact setup process. Before you even boot up your ComfyUI instance, we need to gather all the required models. I went ahead and neatly organized everything on the free section of my Patreon post that I will link below. You will find direct links to download each file one by one, along with the exact directory folder where they need to go. One quick tip here is if your machine happens to be packing 24 GB of VRAM or more, I highly advise grabbing the FP8 version of the model instead of the GGUF. It generally generates a bit faster and produces higher quality output. Just make sure to place every downloaded file into its designated folder, which is clearly listed right next to the model names on that Patreon post. And then you can go ahead and start up ComfyUI. With the workflow loaded onto your screen, head over to the ComfyUI Manager in the top right corner and click the Install Missing Nodes button. Go down the list and install whatever you're missing. Once those are finished, we have to make sure ComfyUI is updated to the very latest version, or some of these custom nodes may not work correctly. You can trigger the update from inside the manager, or just run the update comfyui.bat file located in your update folder. If you're already running the newest release, simply hit restart to finalize the installations and then refresh your browser. At this point, I actually have to switch over to my RunPod setup. My local machine only has 6 GB of VRAM, which just will not cut it for this heavy processing. Instead, I am firing up an RTX 5090 instance on RunPod, which hooks me up with 32 GB of VRAM and 90 GB of system RAM. I am using my custom WAN SCAIL RunPod template for this environment. The workflow itself might look massive at first glance, but it is surprisingly simple once you break down what it actually does. We can look at it in 5 logical sections. Up in the top left, you have your model loader. Right below that is the input section for your subject image and your reference video. This is where you upload the character and the scenery you want to use, as well as the source video we are extracting the animation from. Moving to the right, you will see the area to type out your positive and negative prompts. Directly beneath the prompts is the SAM3 segmentation section, where the SAM 3.1 model isolates and extracts the exact movement from your reference. Finally, the big section on the far right is the 2-part sampler that actually builds and generates your final video. Actually running this thing is incredibly straightforward. You start by uploading your subject image and your reference video. For the subject image, make sure it features a clear, still, full-body shot of the character you want to animate, keeping as much of them visible in the frame as possible. You want to follow a similar logic for the reference video, but the most crucial detail here is that the number of people in the source video has to strictly match the number of people in your subject image. That way, the extracted animations aligns exactly with the subjects in the image. Right next to the video upload node, you will spot a resize image node where you can set the resolution for your final output. Try to keep this proportionate to your reference video's size. Just keep in mind that the higher you crank that resolution, the more compute resources your machine is going to need. Next, head over to the prompt section and describe exactly what you want happening in the newly generated scene, tying it together with the subject image and the reference movement. Down in the segmentation area, there is a clip text encode box. You want to help the SAM3 model out by typing a very short, direct description of the specific action you want segmented. The model automatically detects that movement, isolates it, and feeds the mask right into the sampler, functioning a lot like a control net. Once you have all those details filled out, I suggest stopping there. Try to leave the rest of the parameters alone unless you have a firm grasp on what you are adjusting. The only other setting you might want to play around with is the seed. It defaults to fixed, meaning you will get the exact same result every time you generate. If you want to experiment and see different variations, just flip that seed setting over to randomize. Now you're ready to click the Run button and let it work. On this RTX 5090, runs can take anywhere from 8 to 20 minutes for a 10-second clip at 24 frames per second, though that time frame can shift drastically depending on the exact resolution and duration you choose. The results are pretty good, but it looks like the model might have added some extra artifacts, probably due to the fact that the initial reference video was only 4 seconds, yet I have it set in the sampler settings for 10 seconds and forgot to adjust the duration length. Here's a better shot of the output result. The results are seriously impressive. The model does a brilliant job of capturing the complex motion from your source file and applies the high visual quality of the WAN architecture to perfectly blend your subject into the animation. Ultimately, this workflow is an incredible tool for creating high-action sequences and realistic character movements without needing a massive animation budget or an expensive motion capture studio. It lets you direct scenes that would otherwise be too complex to piece together manually. If you want to bypass all the setup we just went over, remember that I have a fully packaged, one-click Windows installer for this exact workflow available on my Patreon. You will also find plenty of other custom installers and exclusive benefits over there to speed up your creative process. Thanks for watching and have a great time testing out these new models.